Hey guys, Chris from Hot Tech Tips here with the Aura LED. This is the $5 Walmart USB powered LED strip light. You'll find these in the electronics section. Mine was in one of the big cardboard displays out in front, right in the area where the DVDs that are in the $5 boxes, that sort of thing are. These have been selling out. The display that has them has your USB mice, other things like that. Various accessories. And for us haunters, these are pretty awesome. They're not quite as cool as the box makes it look to be, but that's not just these guys. Any LED strip light manufacturer is showing that they're multicolor. No, that is not true. If you actually look at the fine print, somewhere back here it does say, yes, mood light strip lights up one color at a time. So it's not going to do any of this craziness, which would be cool for clown scenes, stuff like that. But still, these are not bad, especially for $5. So you'll see, I've already opened this. Comes with not a bad little user guide actually. The English in it is pretty decent. Does not spell out too well which direction you have to plug the LEDs into the USB adapter, but I'll point out there's a little notch that guides you there. And the rest of the manual's not so bad. It does say do not cut, because they don't want you cutting these to length to fit the TV. You want to press fit it ahead of time. I disagree with that. On the video here, we're going to cut it to length and see if I am correct in my disagreement there. You'll also see power, half an amp to 2 amps. So if you're running full bright white, full brightness, these are going to pull about 2 amps, which is more than a lot of basic USB ports can pull. But if you're using a better USB charger, or what I'm excited about, USB battery packs, that will let you use these wherever. So, also here's a little warning thing actually saying that some devices that only have a half amp USB power won't cut it. Yeah, here is, of course, there's a little EMP shielded bag so it doesn't get fried when they scan it in customs. Comes on a spool, USB adapter cable, and I'm assuming there's a diode in here because when you plug it in backwards, nothing at all happens, which is good. It's not the blue smoke of death. There's also a infrared receiver right here. USB cable, nothing special, but it's just power, doesn't need to be anything special. The strip itself, as per the box, is, let's see how long is it. It doesn't actually say. There it is, 6.5 foot LED strip. Has nice 3M adhesive on the back, so that should hold up pretty well. The strip is fully sealed in epoxy type material. So you have the adhesive on the back. I don't know if I would install this outdoors in the elements. Brief moisture exposure should be fine. We can test that in a later video, because the adhesive should have this side sealed as long as it's well adhered, and this side's obviously just a plastic material. The end here, I'm going to try to make that visible. There you go. You can see the little tiny arrow. There is another little tiny arrow on the sticker here. Again, try to make that visible. There it is. So when you plug it together, you want the arrows to point at each other. They don't actually line up very well, but that gets the point across. Also, you'll see the pins are a little fragile, so be careful with this part. I would recommend taping this together once you put it all together. And as you'll see, there it is assembled. I'll plug this into a battery pack. And as I suspected, this has memory on a chip. So it's non-frangible memory because I had these on this color, this brightness, and steady on about a week ago. It kept the pattern, which is awesome. Here is the remote Aura LED. So you can use this if you need to change things on the fly. You can adjust the brightness on, off. I think that's about the max brightness right there. The dimmability is actually not that bad. It's a lot of steps. I'm not going to say 100 steps, but maybe 20 steps or so of dimmability. It's not the brightest LEDs in the world, but we're haunters, so we don't need things to be super bright. Also, keep in mind if you're using steady on and brighter, it's going to eat through your battery faster. This is a Anker brand USB charging box, meant for charging phones, but it'll run this for, let's see. This is a 20,000 milliamp hour. This is pulling 2 milliamp hours, theoretically 10 hours. Of course, that's never going to be true, but you should probably be able to get through a 6 or 8 hour night with this just fine. They also make these in 30 and 40,000 milliamp hour. I think a little bit bigger at that point, but they're not that expensive, $20, $30. I have a couple of them I switch out just to keep my phone running when I'm building the show, working the show, whatever. Because being, one of the responsible people, I have to answer that, unfortunately. So, again, you'll see 4 wires. I've not yet traced out which wire is which, but obviously one is a positive or negative return. The others are to each LED. I'm guessing, here we go. If we look real closely, green, red, blue, so RGB, negative, and then the white is a positive 5 volts. So yes, the positive 5 volts goes through the white. Everything else is negative. So the one drawback of these, you're not going to be able to run this off a 12 volt because that'll just fry it. So you're not going to be able to use your car batteries, your low voltage systems. These are dedicated 5 volt LEDs, just meaning the resistors in here are set up for 5 volt applications. Beyond that, you'll see it's a nice strip, pretty clean, good manufacturing. I'll go through the different colors here. Also go to max brightness. Red, green, blue. That's supposed to be a pinkish, I disagree. Different green, different blue. So again, the color mixing here isn't precise to what the remote is showing you should be getting, but you do have quite a few options. Flash pattern. And the brightness controls speed in flash pattern mode. Here's strobe. I disagree, that's not strobe. That's not strobe at all. So the remote is mislabeled, but that happens quite often, I'm sure, lost in translation. Fade. And smooth. Smooth is totally just flash or strobe. But as you can see, I have different modes here. The reason I'm excited about this product is that if you have a actor that has a prop that needs to be lighted, or even part of their costume that needs to be lighted, you can easily stash this battery pack, even sew a pocket into their costume to hide it around their back. Set your colors, forget about it. Actually, let me set a color so I'm not fading, just to prove the point. So say you want red light. Set it, forget about it, change out your batteries throughout the night as you need, and whatever you have it set to, it's going to come right back to you. So for lighting, handheld props, portable props, things that you don't want a big heavy battery to, things you don't want to hardwire, this is great. And again, you could use a standard wall outlet phone charger. I'm just using a battery just to prove the portability of it. I'll discontinue the power again and unspool this because I do want to test their claim that you cannot cut the strip. I'm thinking that claim is just a liability claim and that the manufacturer doesn't want to be responsible for somebody who cuts it in the wrong place, cuts it while it's turned on. Of course they have this, there we go, it's taped in there pretty good. But if you're familiar with LED strips at all, you'll see there's these little areas. Try to get the light just right here. Oh, come on. It's a little hard to see. Try to do a little zoom action, see if that helps us any. And some manual focus. There we go. Let me flip it over so you can read it. Focus some more. Alright. So you see your green, your red, your blue, and then your positive 5 volts. These little lines are typically designed as contact points that you can cut. So I'm just going to cut off the very last diode here. I'm going to follow right along the line. Again, note I am powered down. Keep in mind, by cutting that, you do compromise the material, so unlike the sealed end here, this is now slightly exposed. So you might want to put a little bit of silicone, caulk, anything, hot glue even, just to seal that up. And now to test my theory, we're going to plug this back in. Oh, it would seem I was mistaken. Whoop. There might be a manufacturing defect in this. I was right, it does work fine. Although for a moment this part of the strip did not work perfectly. I see there's occasional solder joints here where they actually joined different strips. I'll zoom in on that. And again with the focus. So these solder joints could be a little fragile because again it's a solid metal on a flexible strip. So if you have any issues with these lights, I would guesstimate it's probably in one of these. I'll zoom back out again. But overall, for $5, this is a win. If you want to put this in a prop, I might avoid anything that actors are using violently just due to those solder joints. But if it's a handheld prop, something a shaman's holding, a lantern, a glowing jack-o'-lantern, whatever you have that needs some lights in it, this is great. And as always with these, you can hide them underneath of things, on the back sides of things, so you get that otherly glow. Let me find the end here just to give you an idea. So you can kind of see, of course you're going to get that the diode showing up. You can always get a gel, which is a theatrical film to put over top. And yeah, I think this right here where that's a little kinked is where I'm getting my flickering from. But again, $5, these are not bad. And if you heard the news, our channel hit over 1,000 subscribers early this week. We actually also hit our 4,000 hour view time. So YouTube is now monetizing our Haunt Tech Tips channel. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for subscribing, for liking, for commenting, for sharing. And we're going to start doing some more giveaways. If this video reaches 100 likes and let's say 50 comments, I'll pick at random and send out one of these kits to someone. Hope you enjoy it. And again, if you want to find it on your own, your local Walmart near the electronics section. These will just be great for those handheld props or outdoor haunts where you need a prop in a location you just can't run power to. And just USB battery packs. Just make sure they support at least an amp output. I would try to go for 2 amps, so basically a tablet charger. But USB, LED, there you go.